This is the Inside Pool Extreme Press Box. Our guest today is Big Bubba Shawn Putnam. Shawn, how are you doing?
How you doing, Aaron?
Good. How's the tournament going for you?
It was going great until I played the one pocket in my first match of the 9-ball, which I lost. But
who'd you lose to?
Gus, some guy named Gus.
But you came in high though in the bank pool tournament.
I placed third in the bank pool.
Placed third, which puts you in a real good spot for the all around.
And then I pretty much have to win the 9-ball now.
And then, but the one pocket, then, which I feel is one of your stronger games, you didn't end up.
No, I played 12, 13 hours of bank pool when I played to try to win the tournament. And as soon as I get done with my bank pool match, they say, "Oh, by the way, you have to play your one pocket match at like 1 o'clock in the morning."
Oh, by the way.
Yeah, I'm like, what's going on with this?
So you were tired?
Tired. I couldn't even feel my legs.
Oh, wow.
And then I have to walk around the table and stand up and play one pocket for like another 2.5, 3 hours.
Wow, yeah, that's a long match.
I drag out my one pocket matches because I like playing long matches. It wears your opponent down. And I couldn't do it. I was missing balls left and right. Go from slamming banks in and
I was just going to ask.
It's a totally different style
of
play when you bank, because everything that you bank in bank pool is done with a lot of high speeds and turning the ball over. You're shooting the ball longer than the natural angle, and you're cutting the angle shorter coming in, but it opens up the pocket bigger.
It kind of doesn't make sense because you think the great bank pool players would be awesome at one pocket, but like you said, because of the speed, we're seeing them like they got to hit it with pocket speed, and they just went from like
one pocket you hit them soft with a ton of English and twist banks in. In bank pool you hit them hard with center ball, just a hair of English, and open up the pockets with a tighter angle.
So not only were you tired, you were just like coming off your bank pool stroke, and
my stroke was loose because I'm slamming balls in. But it's
I figured your stroke, but I wouldn't think that
a lot of people
be tired with your great physical conditioning.
Well, yeah, I've been working on my
exercising,
stamina and everything.
You recently actually have lost
40 pounds.
40 pounds. See, so I know that.
I figure one more disease and I'll really get the other 40 pounds off me.
Oh no. Now, how is that affecting your play, though, having all this lighter on your feet?
It's better on my back because I just blew a disc out not but 5 weeks ago in a Tiger tournament.
Wow, you've been having some bad beats lately.
Yeah, and so the weight coming off is helping a lot. It's helping on my knees, which both my knees are bad, and my lower back's real bad. But once I get about another 40 pounds out of it, I get down to around 235, I'll feel real good.
He was a fighter, though, because I remember I staked him in a Viking tournament. And he was basically doing good in the tournament, and the night before the final day, you were in some tremendous pain, and I am begging you to forfeit the tournament.
I'm passing
and go
a kidney
to the
stone.
hospital.
You were being nice?
I was being nice. I said go ahead and forfeit the tournament because I actually
passing
felt
a kidney stone. I'm peeing blood for 2 days profusely.
Oh my God.
And I can't. Every time I bend over, it's like I barely have to bend over because where the kidney stone's trying to move and everything, and it's
really
ripping.
painful.
Kidney stones are the exact same thing for a man as a woman would feel having childbirth.
Oh my goodness.
Doctors said it's the closest thing a man will ever feel to having childbirth is passing a kidney stone.
And yet you can't even avoid that. I mean, it's something that you...
It's just a calcium buildup, and all of a sudden it breaks away and it tries to travel.
Yeah, and I know because I've seen my dad have them, and I've never seen my dad cry.
I've never passed out in my life
Sister Mary Nancy having these, so I knew that you were in pain, and I said, "Gosh, go to the hospital, forget about the tournament." But
no,
you told me,
I said I'll just bear it out. I'll go to the hospital after I'm done winning it.
Yeah, so he wins the tournament for me, and because he risks his life or whatever pain, I tipped him an extra 10.
Right.
So
physical conditioning in pool really does help to have all your health intact playing this game. Huh?
You rarely nowadays in pool, you rarely see any extremely overweight players ever winning.
It's not like Minnesota Fats and Mosconi and all these guys walking around 400 or 500
I'm not
pounds.
mentioning any names, but there's some players out here on tour that are just ridiculously overweight. I'm a little overweight, but I'm not for my height.
We worry for
them, and some of them have heart attacks and stuff like that, and we know that they're going to be gone if they don't take care of it. But if you're Thorsten Homans or Mika Eminens, Niels Fyan, those are the players that are going to be winning all your major tournaments. And Johnny Archer's in shape.
Every day.
Yeah, they're all working out and they're getting their stamina up. They can play 4 and 5 days.
Well, this is good for the sport, though. We've just now been recognized as a sport by the Olympic Committee, by the Olympics. So, I mean, if we all behave like athletes and conduct ourselves like athletes and get that recognition as a sport, then there could be a lot more funding, I'm sure, for you players.
Hopefully.
But I noticed those guys also not only work out, but they eat better. So if you
they're not living off the dollar
start
menu.
eating the vegetable lovers pizza instead of the meat lovers pizza, that should probably help.
It's easier for Europeans to eat better than it is for Americans.
Why? They have the dollar menu too.
but we inject everything with steroids. Over in the United States.
True.
All the meats, all the chicken, everything is to grow the cattle and the chickens faster, to get them to market faster, to make more money. And that steroid is still inside
And
of the meats.
everything I notice in America, the organic stuff seems to be so much more expensive.
But it's better. It does taste better.
I know it's
there's
worth
no comparison.
it, but some people have to say to themselves, you know, my budget is this. I can afford the double cheeseburger, or I can afford the $3 orange organic.
There is nothing in fast food that's good except for probably Subway. There is nothing in fast food that is good for you.
Even Subway, though. I mean, you load it with dressings.
Yeah, but
it's the same thing as
that's
a salad.
It's your problem. That's your
I know.
not their problem.
I know. I lived off the dollar menu way too long.
The other thing that people might not know is you also build and make your own cues.
I've been a custom cue maker for 8 years.
Yeah, you got an all-round when it comes to pool. I mean,
I'm
there's so much
there.
knowledge when it comes to cue making.
I'm looking ahead for my future. I want something to fall back on in case pool doesn't work out, if my health fails me and I can't perform anymore. And
backup plans. You got plan A, B, C, and D.
Yeah.
The only player that I really know that is kind of like that is Nick Varner, who I have a lot of respect, that does all that stuff where he actually thinks
he's one of my heroes
long
also.
term down the road.
That's why they're methodical players too. They actually think ahead.
Which is smart.
Yeah.
Well, pool's not good. Pool doesn't pay enough to get you rich. It'll make you live comfortable for a little while, but there's no retirement plan. There's no.
Well, I know that, and like I said, I've been a stake horse for players for several years. Sean's one of the guys I stake on tour.
You've been with me before I even started winning. You stuck it out
and
with
look
me
at Buddy
forever.
Hall. I mean, he still plays great, but he can't play more than 2 hours without getting tired. His lung collapsed. You know, so I mean, there's a sooner or later you can't run out like you used to, or you can't play a long tournament like such as Derby City.
I watched him put Buddy on the shot clock once, and oh my goodness, that was brutal. It was like they were yelling 10 before he even got to the chalk. It was hard to see.
Time limits. We need time limits, and we need schedules for. Well, even the players that are in shape, though. I mean, I know Mika played a ring game last night with Shane Van Moning, and a few of the other players that are in the 9-ball and the 1 pocket. I'm thinking to myself, they're up all night playing ring games, and then they got to play their matches this morning and all day. How do they do that? I mean, they are in shape, but I think even if you are in shape, it's such a schedule that
you got to take little naps here and there. Instead of, like, I do my 8 hour, 9 hours, maybe 15 hours sleep in one setting.
Wow.
These
Maybe
players that
more like
gamble,
20.
sometimes.
Okay, yeah.
Do you ever have trouble winding down from like some, you know, I lay in bed sometimes after a match and I think about balls I played the wrong way, or somebody got lucky on a shot, or I just hit a ball real bad. And does that ever happen to you where you can't sleep because you're thinking so much about, you know, what you did during the day?
Mainly, I can't sleep because I'm thinking of new ways to build cues and new inlays and ways of putting
that
things
shows
in.
your passion.
Construction
That's good.
ideas.
A lot of times I'm thinking of what second job I can so I can sustain back in these players on tour and stuff like that. So
But you've been doing good with that.
Yes, I have.
So that's
If you
fun.
ever need a ride to work,
So
buddy.
you're dreaming about being on the lathe. That's funny.
I'm not being on a lathe. I'm
Working on a
construction.
lathe. Excuse my English there. Yeah.
There's always new ways to build cues to make them hit better and transfer the feel.
So you're going for the best playing cue, not so much the prettiest. Are you
the
thinking
prettiness
both
is
the
there.
design and the hit?
Simona's cloth. Authentic, accurate, always.